Hi everyone, so this is going to be a little tutorial about how to use Canva. So you can either type the address in here or you can type it up in the bar at the top. I'm just going to pop it in here, canva.com. It's a very easy one and you'll see it's the first result that comes up. So just click on Canva and now what it comes up with for you might be slightly different because it will probably ask you to set up an account. Now, an account is completely free. If you just use your school email and your school password, then you'll be setting up your account to your school. So that would be perfect. So what we want to do is we're going to be designing a mood board. So there's two ways we can start. We can either go down here to create a design, and you can see that the first one is mood boards, or you can click up here and create a design and then choose mood board there. Either way is fine. So I'm going to click down here and you'll see that it opens up a new tab. You can see that there's all different styles of mood boards that you can choose from. So you can either choose one of those, or if you click in elements and then you click in grids and see all, then you can choose a different style of shape of pictures that you'd like to use, basically a different shaped grid. Now, I would advise that you scroll down to the bottom to get one of these ones with more pictures, more spaces on, because you've got to include pictures of your design, images of your materials, and images of the insects that are going to be attracted to your design. So you want somewhere that's got lots of space for different pictures. So if I was doing it, I might probably choose maybe something like this one or like this one, because there's plenty of spaces for all the different things that you want to do. So that's if you want to do a grid. Otherwise, you can click the cross. I'm actually going to go back to the templates and I'm going to choose this one. Now, I'm going to show you how to do one based on a birdhouse. Now, you're not making a birdhouse, but I didn't want to do your task for you. So I'm going to make one for a birdhouse because it's a similar sort of project, but obviously yours will be based on either a bug hotel or whatever idea you'd come up with in class that we talked about. So I chose this one because it's got very earthy colours and I want my birdhouse to be very natural, use natural tones, natural materials. And I like the kind of creams and browns because they reminded me of wood and nature. So the first thing I would do is to insert my title. Now, obviously, it's not a new summer collection. It's going to be the Fairgreen Birdhouse. So I'm going to write that in. So you just literally highlight it and delete what's already written and then type in what you want to have in there. Fairgreen Birdhouse. Now up here it says coming soon. I actually quite like that, so I'm going to keep that. But we haven't got a link to our website, so I'm going to just highlight and delete that bit. Okay, now in here are all different pictures that we can choose. Now there's a few ways that you can put different pictures in. You can either go into photos on the left-hand side, just over here, and then you can choose to search. So if I was to search birdhouse and press enter in the top there, it gives me a few different options. So I might say, all right, okay, I'm going to have a little scroll through. I quite like this one because it's got the bird in there, so I'm going to drop that maybe there, or should I have it in this? Maybe this one actually. So you just click on it and then hold down the button until it goes to the place that you want it to be. Now, you might see some of them, can you see here it says free? Okay, so obviously they are free to use. Some of them, it's got this dollar sign. You see it says if I hover over it, this image can be purchased for $1. Okay, we're not going to be paying $1 for anything. You can, if you want to, you can still use that picture. So I'm clicking it and then I'm dragging it over. You can put it in. However, it has all these lines over the top, like a watermark, and Canva written on it, because you have to pay if you want to use that. So that's showing that you haven't paid to use it. So for our purposes, because we're not going to be showing this to anyone else, it's just for our own personal use. If you do want to use that picture, then it's okay. However, if you're finding that a lot of the pictures that you do want, you can see a lot of them have the dollar sign. So another way that you can actually use pictures is to upload them. So if you see over here, there is an upload option. And the way that you upload some images, these are some that I have uploaded already. So if you go up and open a new tab on your browser, whatever browser you're using, and either you can use Kiddle, which is a safe search engine, kiddle.co. You just put that in, and then if you put in birdhouse in there, you can see up at the top, just like with Google, it's got the images tab. So you can click images. Now, obviously, you won't be searching for a birdhouse, you'll be searching for something else. But none of these ones would have that restriction of having to pay $1 for. So, for example, I quite like that this has got a sort of star design on it. So the bird is kind of flying into a star. So I might right click, save image as. Okay, and you can see I've saved a folder called birdhouses. Okay, I've put it in grade 3 in birdhouses. Now you won't have a grade 3 folder in your computer, but as long as you save it somewhere that you can find, usually in my documents, or if you're using your iPad, obviously you can just save it to your iPad. So I'm going to call that star bird so I can remember which one it is and save it. Okay, so then I would go back into my collage, and if I click upload an image over here, and then can you see there I've got my star bird, so I'm going to click on that, open, and it should, there we go, it's uploaded here. So then I can drag this into my picture wherever I want it to be. So you can carry on and do that for multiple pictures, and you can be dragging them into your Canva. The other aspect that you've got to do, as well as including pictures of the designs that you like, you also need to be including pictures of images of your materials that you'd like to use. So one of the things that I liked about this template is it's got this colour bank over here already pre-made. So if you click on one of those squares, you can actually choose, go here, the colour that you want it to be. So you can either just choose one of their default colours, or you can also put photos in there. So if I was to put in, because I want mine to be all wood based, if I just put wood into the photos section, it actually comes up with lots of different types of pictures of wood and textures. So like here, I quite like this idea of having all those different circular elements of the wood in there. And I might say, right, I also want to have some different tones from different types of wood. So let's see if I can find something. Oh, here. So that's got the bark and the central colours of the wood. So that's a good one to include. I also like this one because it's quite sort of rustic, but I don't want it to go next to that one because it's a bit the same. So I'm going to move it over there. And let's see what other parts we could include. I might want to include some kind of wood chip into my design, and I might want to, let's keep looking, I'm probably going to have to use some sort of panels of wood to make some roofing, so maybe something like that to show there's different tones in there. So you can see now I've got my different choices of woods. Now the other part that you have to do would be images of the insects that are going to be attracted to the garden because of your design. Now, obviously, on mine, if it's a birdhouse, I'm going to be looking for pictures of birds. Now, I can, again, either put it into photos and click and search for different images of different birds that are available. However, this is going to show me just birds from all over the world, and I want specifically birds that are indigenous to the UAE. So if you open a tab again and do either a Google search or a Kiddle search for birds of the UAE, again, you would be looking for insects. And I can see that there's several different types of birds that are native to the UAE. So I might say, right, I'm going to include one of the Hoopo, I think it's called, copy image. So you can, as well as saving into the bank on Canva, you can just do right-click copy, and then you can paste it into Canva. So if I go back to my collage on Canva, if you just paste it, you can either right-click and paste, or you can do Control-V if you're on an Apple Mac, and it might paste it right into the middle. That's fine. You just then drag it to the section that you want it to go to. So down here, I'd fill this with all the different birds that would be attracted to my birdhouse. Then the final thing that I need to make sure that I've done is labelled and annotated why I've chosen these different pictures. So if you go over to the elements section that I mentioned before, so I talked about the grids section, but another section that is quite useful is this shapes section, because it can help you to add in some text boxes. So if I was to click this square option, and then you can just resize using the tabs, and you can make it into a little panel, a bit like this. So I might put one banner down at the bottom here and make it the same size as the picture. And then up here, you can see the colour is grey of the box. So if you don't want it to be that colour, then you're free to change the colour. Now I might choose a contrasting colour so that the annotations stand out a little more. So maybe a purple colour might be quite good, or perhaps that'll be too dark. Maybe a brighter green might be better. And then in that box, I can add my caption. So if you click on text at the side and I just want to add a little body of text, it says it there. So click that and you can see it comes up in the middle of the page. So just highlight that, delete, and write what you want to. So star design is an attractive feature for the bird house. So I'm then going to move it so it's on top of the little banner that I've made, and you can see it's a bit too big, so highlight the text, and then at the top you can see the numbers here. They tell you what size the text is. So 10 you can see is too small, maybe go for 12. No, still too small. That's better fit. So I've put it on top of that box that I made so it really stands out. So that's a little annotation there. Then I might say, right, this is the hoopoe bird. I'm going to add another, go back into elements, add another square, resize it, bring it over to the section where I want it to be, resize again, and then change your colour. I'm going to choose all my captions to be the same colour so that there's continuity. Again, I think green's a good colour because it's nature, and that fits in with the theme of the board. So then you'd add your text, click on add a little body of text, there it comes up again. Click delete, and you can say the hoopoe bird is indigenous to the UAE and would be attracted to the safety of the birdhouse. Okay, so you can see that's quite a large body of text there. So again, make it same size as before, maybe about 14. You might want to, you can also resize it just by dragging, but I find that it's actually easier to resize with by highlighting, because then you know that all your text is the same size. And I'm just going to make it a bit smaller, bring it down, put it where I want it to be. You can see it doesn't quite fit in there. I'm going to resize it again. So I'm going to have to make that slightly smaller. So highlight it again, go to 12. There we go, fits in perfectly. And you just continue doing that until you've completely filled all your pictures. So like obviously this picture is not relevant, this one. And and you should have an annotation on every single picture within the screen. So I'm just going to go back to our slide. So, and you can see my finished product, and we can talk about it further from the other slide. Any questions on this, just let me know, send me an email. You can put me a message on Seesaw if you need to, but probably an email is the best option. It's athomas@fairgreen.ae, and I'll carry on. If you go back to the other video where I'm explaining the slides, then you can see further what we're doing this lesson. Once you've completed your design for your mood board, as you can see up at the top here, it says all changes are saved. So because you've logged in, the next time you log in, your completed picture will still be there. So if I click on home, there we go, click on home. And then if you just go down here to all your designs, then you'll see, it might take a little while to come up, but here, this is the one that I started now. It's just named itself Fairgreen Birdhouse because I put that in the title. So you can see that there's a few different options. And here's my actual completed one that I'll show you on the other slides. But actually this one will be the one, it is taking a while to load up, but if you click it, it should come up. There we go, you can see it. Okay, so don't panic that you need to save it anywhere. In order to send it to me, so obviously I'd really like to see it, you can either just do a screenshot of this whole screen here and send that to me. You can crop it if you're able to, but I'm happy with just a screenshot to show that you're using Canva and to show your finished product. If not, if you're using an Apple Mac, you can use the Shift Command 4 function, and that actually brings up a little cross like this, and you can drag it over your finished product and it will take a picture of it for you. So you can just copy and paste that into an email and send that to me. Yeah. So any problems don't worry about saving. It will be saved because you've logged in. As I say, try and just send me a screenshot of this whole page when you finished it.